Hello and welcome to Home Capital's series on home ownership. Buying your first house can be a daunting task, and in this series, we will simplify the entire process for you. Given the enormous benefits associated with buying a house, when you decide to take the first step in this direction, it is also the most important step, that is, setting a budget for your house. Now, to help you in this process of setting a budget for your house, we have a 4-step process. The first step being estimating your net worth. Step 2 is estimating your home budget. Step 3 is arriving at the home loan eligibility, and the step 4 is calculating the surplus available with you. Let's pick up one step at a time so that you understand how you can go about setting up the budget for your first house. The first step is estimating your net worth. What do we mean by net worth? Net worth is nothing but the sum of all your assets minus the sum of all your liabilities. That actually tells you the kind of surplus you have today available with you as an individual. Now, what do we mean by assets and liabilities? Your assets is nothing but a listing of all the cash and cash equivalents that you have in the form of a savings accounts or deposits. It also includes any investments you've done till date, including mutual funds, stocks, securities, etc. It also includes the gold and jewelry that you own as of today. And finally, it includes all the money which is lying in your retirement accounts, which is both your EPF, PPF and your NPS accounts. Once you've listed all your assets, the next step is listing down all the liabilities that you have. What do you mean by liabilities? Liabilities are nothing but all the loans that you may have, including your car loan, your education loan, any personal loan that you may have, and also any credit card outstanding. Now, when you work towards arriving at your net worth, it will be a good idea to segregate all your assets and mark them with respect to those assets which are your personal assets. For example, if you have some jewelry which you got when you got married, you definitely don't want to liquidate that to buy your first house. So that's a personal asset. You want to remove it when computing your net worth. Similarly, if you own insurance policies for which you've paid premiums for say 5 years and the policy is going to mature only after 25 years, you would want to exclude those also. So because that is money, although which is yours, it is not available for you as a contribution towards buying your first house. So largely you want to look at those assets which are liquid in nature and which are available for you, so that those can help you make the corpus which is required when you decide to buy your first home. Once you've estimated your net worth, the second step in this process is arriving at your monthly budget. What do you mean by monthly budget? It's nothing but listing out all the incomes that you have in a particular month and removing from them your expenses and your fixed obligations. By income, we mean a sum of all your income from all sources, and this includes your family income if you are a couple and both of you are working. To this, you must add any income that you have from your fixed deposit or other deposits, any capital gains from selling investments, and also any dividend, commission or fee income, and also any expected bonuses for the year. This basically gives you the total inflows that you have in a particular month. From these inflows, you want to subtract all the monthly household expenses that you have, and these expenses include your living expenses like utility bills, your food and groceries, etc. And this also includes your traveling, conveyance expenses and your lifestyle expenses. Right? Once you remove these expenses, next you want to go ahead and remove all your fixed monthly obligations, that is your EMIs towards your various loans which are outstanding. You would have listed these loans when you were calculating step 1 to arrive at your net worth, and when you do this calculation, you will arrive at what is the monthly surplus that you have which is available for you to use towards buying your first home. Let's take an example to understand this better. Let's take the example of a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Sharma, where the monthly income that they have is INR 1 lakh per month after they've paid all their taxes. That is the amount they receive in their bank account. They incur their living expenses. They've arrived at about 45,000 rupees, and currently they have a car loan outstanding which has a EMI repayment of 10,000 rupees per month. Once they remove these two, they are left with a surplus of 45,000 rupees per month. That is the net disposable income available in the hands of Mr. and Mrs. Sharma, which is available for them to use towards or contribute towards buying their first house. Now, this number is extremely important because it helps us compute or arrive at what is the home loan you can afford. We will discuss this in detail in the next episode. The Home Capital community assists and guides you successfully through your journey of home ownership. Join India's first community of home buyers and homeowners and take your next step towards home ownership.